Back with us on the SportsMax Zone, we are continuing a discussion about the story of transgender swimmer Lia Thomas, who won the 500 yards freestyle at the NCAA Championships recently, competing for the University of Pennsylvania. Well, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has waded into the matter now, issuing a proclamation that does not acknowledge Thomas as the winner of the event. This is what DeSantis said.
If you look at what the NCAA has done by allowing basically men to compete in women's athletics, in this case the swimming, you had the #1 woman who finished was from Sarasota, Weyant. She won the silver medal. She's been an absolute superstar her whole career. She trains. I mean, to compete at that level is very, very difficult, and you don't just roll out of bed and do it. That takes grit. That takes determination, and they're crowning somebody else the woman's champion, and we think that's wrong. And so in Florida, I'm going to be later today, because this is a Floridian who I think deserves to be recognized. You know, we're going to be doing a proclamation saying that Emma is the best female swimmer in the 500-meter freestyle, because she earned that. And we need to stop allowing organizations like the NCAA to perpetuate frauds on the public.
Right, so just for the record, the proclamation is of no legal effect, or it's non-binding, but it is just to put Florida's position on record as recognizing Weyant as the winner and not Lia Thomas. Now, we have some reactions to Thomas's win. Clay Travis says, congrats to Virginia freshman Emma Weyant, the woman who would have won tonight's NCAA title in the 500-meter if women's sports were still sane. Angela Morabito says, round of applause for Emma, the UVA swimmer who placed second in the 500 yards freestyle tonight behind Lia Thomas. Second is the new sport. It's the new first. Hashtag save women's sport. Mercedes Schlapp, Emma is the first place winner in the women's swimming competition. NCAA should have shamed up themselves as they are destroying women's sports, along with a shot of Weyant and her coach. Well, joining us to share his perspective is Olympic bronze medal winning swimming coach, Senator Anil Roberts. Senator Roberts sits, of course, in the upper house of the parliament in Trinidad and Tobago. He is an expert on matters concerning swimming, concerning aquatic sports and other sports as well. And he wanted the space to let his views be known on this issue. Senator Roberts, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, but clearly it's not a good afternoon for sport, especially the sport that has taken my heart since 1977 to present, and in essence to every sport across the board. This NCAA decision, of which there have been many bad ones, as I call NCAA the last bastion of the slave trade, where they use athletes to make hundreds of millions of dollars, and they just offer them a scholarship and they throw them out if they get a sneaker. But let me stay focused here. Let's get the emotion out of an emotional issue. Sport is emotion, sport is passion. So I will start off uncharacteristically, very calm and scientifically. The reason why you all were just discussing women's cricket as opposed to men's cricket and men's sport as opposed to women's sport is because the supreme being, whoever you may call him or her, whether you're a Muslim, Hindu, Christian, Orisha, Rastafari, Buddhist, whatever you call the supreme being, they invented men, created men and women differently. The one difference, and the main difference when it comes to sport and sporting activity, comes from something called testosterone. Testosterone comes from the testes of the man. This creates a greater output of anaerobic capacity. It means that the men's muscle fibers can get bigger, stronger, and thicker. It means that men can run faster, jump further, throw, and are more powerful than women. So if you let a man with testosterone, high testosterone levels, compete against the greatest female athlete, they will have no chance. The Usain Bolt, 9:59. The best woman, even under questionable circumstances, 10:41. The women's cricketers, what is the fastest they can bowl? Shoaib Akhtar might bowl 101 miles per hour. The fastest woman may struggle to get up to 84 miles per hour. Serena Williams can serve the greatest female athlete of all time, can serve a maximum of 126 miles per hour. Andy Roddick can serve 155 miles per hour. This is because of testosterone. So when you have someone born a man, William Thomas, he's born a man with testes, and therefore the levels throughout his life of testosterone are way above that of a female, a woman. So if you're allowing, and I'm not getting into an argument, I believe in freedom for everyone, choice, I believe in legal rights. I'm not getting into that. I'm talking about sport. Sport, the essence of sport is that it must be fair. There must be an even playing field. You have 11 on a football side, both teams have 11. You have referees, they must not have a conflict of interest. You're playing tennis, you get to serve, then I get to serve. You're playing volleyball, you serve, I serve. You're running a race, we both run 200 meters. No one gets a handicap. You're in NASCAR, for example, all the cars have to have a certain spec, certain engine size, certain rims, certain differentials, certain suspension. You cannot come in Formula One with a supersonic plane engine above specs because you will win. That is what will happen when a man races against a woman. He will win once he has a modicum of talent, and therefore the playing field is totally unfair because of the level of testosterone. Add to that, that over the years, the world of sport has said taking testosterone is called doping and cheating. So you are telling women that if they take testosterone to lift their levels above the normal ratios, and we've seen in East Germany with Cornelia Ender and so on in 1972, where they won 12 out of 13 gold medals on upper, and a lady called Shirley Babachov, who's really the Mark Spitz of swimming, won 7 silver medals, which was really 7 gold medals. And when the East German wall came down, all of the doctors and the cheaters went to China. And China, who had not won a swimming medal ever, who had not been in the top 100, suddenly had 20 and 30 swimmers in the top 50. They then went to the World Championships in 1994 and won 12 out of 13 gold medals. They were then banned and tested and so on. They did that because of the increased levels of testosterone. Now, so what you are saying is that women are not allowed to up their levels of testosterone, but you are going to allow a man who, for whatever, I'm not getting into the transgender and what makes you want or what makes you choose to, but you are basically have that high level of testosterone. You choose now to be a woman, and the NCAA says with your extremely high levels of testosterone, which gives you a clear, unadulterated advantage, you can now get in the pool and swim against women. It is patently unfair. It is totally wrong. And now when you carry it to the ridiculous level, let's say now in professional sport that they continue this precedent. And then you see in the WTA, a male player who can't crack the top 600 or 700 in men says, well, I'm transgender. And they go to the WTA to play Serena Williams. Serena Williams cannot beat the top 500 men in tennis.
I really appreciate the submission. Let's converse now, because a part of the thing, well, let me say first up that I like a nuanced debate. This one certainly is strong opinions on one side, especially the side that we all seem to be on, but there are other things to consider on the other side, which is what makes for a very good debate. One of the things that I've been trying to reconcile with, I've been grappling with it since this story broke, is this. When an athlete of any gender, of either gender, takes performance-enhancing drugs, even if at the point of competition no trace of the drug is in the system, Anil Roberts, but that athlete would have tested positive for the banned substance before the competition. So it is true that at a certain point, leading up to a certain point, this athlete's system had this drug. What is also true is that at the point of competition, this athlete's system does not have that drug. That athlete is still suspended because the reasoning is, Anil, as you know so very well, is that, well, the athlete can still be benefiting from the effects of having trained while using that performance-enhancing drug. Now, my dear sir, if that logic should hold, how can someone who has been living as a man for, say, 17 years and having the benefit of a man's frame, having the benefit of all that feeds into being a man with the physical prowess, capacity and ability, two different things, who decides, for whatever reason, their business, to change and identify as a woman now because they are a woman. Is that not getting the benefit of being a man for all those years, the same way that an athlete performing clean now is said to have benefited from using performance-enhancing drugs in the build-up to competition? Tell me if I'm wrong, my friend.
That's why I love to discuss sport with you, George. Let me make it elucidly clear. There is no drug on planet Earth that you take now for now and you improve dramatically, instantaneously. I cannot sit here and take growth hormone and go and run with my big belly 10.6. I will run my normal 20.2, okay? However, if for a sustained period of 4 to 6 months, I train and I use growth hormone or testosterone, it allows my body to recover. Therefore, once I have the mental wherewithal and the fortitude to train, I can train twice as hard or 3 times as hard. Why do we train? So that our body adapts upward. What does adaptation mean? It means that your muscle fibers tear down and then you eat your protein, and if you're taking drugs, you take the drugs and the muscle fibers get thicker, stronger, and when they stretch and you release them like a thick rubber band, they propel you tremendously faster than if you did not take the drug. So drugs only help you train harder. So therefore, your argument is absolutely correct. Once you have cheated, once you have had the benefit, you have the benefit. Now it even is magnified in the case of a human being who was a man since birth. Everything they did, every exercise, every lap, every weight, every abdominal, every plyometric, they got the benefits in their body of increased levels of testosterone. So to come and say you put on a swimsuit and say you're a woman, it is totally fraudulent. It is not on, it's not sporting, and it will damage sports for life. What people have to understand is if you agree with this, then there must be no more woman and man sport.
Absolutely.
We must see the Jamaican sprint ladies get up and run against Johan Blake and the men, if that's what you're saying. But you cannot say that because the Almighty, the Supreme Being, made men and women different.
Yeah.
We're watching women's cricket. We love it. And let me also tell you that as a coach, I have been one of the most, I don't even know how to describe it, one of the most torturous human beings in children's lives when it comes to coaching. And let me tell you, the female athlete is mentally stronger and can take more pressure than the male. If I was to allow, for example, Emma, who got the Florida girl from Sarasota, if I trained her and allowed her to take testosterone to lift her levels up to William Thomas, she will beat him so bad, y'all would not even be discussing.
Yeah.
It would be licked from left to right. So
Yeah.
it is totally unfair because the level of testosterone just cannot be matched. It's like a 1600 cc versus a V8.
Absolutely so. Lance, your witness.
Yeah, I wanted to get some clarification, Anil, on the issue of the reports about Lia Thomas taking testosterone suppression medication. Now, I listened keenly to what you said just now, and it seems to me that even taking testosterone suppression medication at this point is irrelevant, given the fact that this person has spent 2 decades of let me say Lia Thomas's life. I have a problem saying her, Anil, so forgive me. So why would a medical association in the NCAA accept that a suppression of testosterone medication will qualify Lia Thomas to compete against women? I'm lost.
Well, you are lost and I can't help you. Both of us are lost in space because it is the most illogical, ludicrous suggestion. because building blocks. As an Olympic coach, I plan a quadrennial training plan. If I'm coaching George Bovell and we need his anaerobic capacity, his sprint output for the first 10 meters of ATP CP to improve, it improves gradually with different types of work, working different energy systems each year, building on the next. So when we come to race, we don't need anything. We're in a taper period. We've done all the work. The testosterone has recovered us. Our muscle fibers are big and strong and powerful. So to suppress so-called testosterone at the time of competition is like just saying you drink water instead of Gatorade. It does absolutely nothing. The NCAA has made a fool of themselves, and they're making a fool of sport. And I must say to the coach of the University of Pennsylvania, shame on you as a coach, as a brother, as one who loves the sport, for you to allow, to even consider cheating and celebrating and even thinking that this is fair when we all grew up in a brotherhood of let the best win, work hard and shake hands after, come back, cry and train. For you to accept cheating, fraud, and actually celebrate is pathetic. I'm disappointed in the coach of Pennsylvania. I'm also disappointed in all the coaches of all the female teams who participated in the events that this gentleman swam in. They should have let him swim alone. We have to stop being cowards. I call upon all female swimmers who have to stand up next to a man, save our sports for future generations. Do not compete. You will not be cowards. Stand together as women. You all have fought for the right to vote. You fought for equal pay. You have the U.S. women now getting 24 million U.S. equal pay. What are you going to say? A man who can't cut it on the USA team will just say, put on a bra and go and play with the women, and you all say that's okay? It's wrong. And to all the NCAA athletes, all coaches, all swimmers, stop competing. Let him swim in an empty pool.
Hear you on that. Your submission is noted. Thank you for your time, Anil Roberts. All the best to you. We'll talk again. Yep. Strong views in only the way that Anil Roberts can. Let me tell you, this debate is not over. Look, where this thing is concerned, the line has already been drawn in the sand. And it's not a line in the sand anymore. It's a monument, because the line can be erased if the wind blows the sand over it. A wall has been erected deep. Those who support over here, those who support over there. And the end result of all of this is that you're going to have special categories for transgender athletes, because it's just going to be difficult. Imagine Lord Sebastian Coase we spoke about yesterday. He has a situation where a transgender athlete competes and beats women like yourself who are competing every day. And some women say, okay, well, it is what it is. And some women complain to him. Remember, his role is to make sport fair for everybody to believe they have a fair crack. And you're putting a situation where women believe they don't have a fair crack. That's a big problem. We're going to have to discuss this.
But, George, just before we leave, though, the most powerful man in the United States at the moment, Joe Biden, issued a decree very early in his piece as president, an executive order it was, preventing and combating discrimination on the basis of gender identity and sexual orientation. So from the very highest political position in the United States, a free rein has been given to something like this. So where do they go from here? Because the NCAA is funded by the government, and they pretty much have to abide by what the White House says.
Which makes it messy.
There's a comfortable, not an easy, there's a comfortable answer to that, though. Unlike decisions which require which will require a vote and a decision by the Supreme Court to carry, which is enshrined, government edict changes with government. So it is that perhaps it is the next cycle, whomever the president is, he or she is, will have a different view to Joe Biden, or may have, and may issue a different executive order. So we'll have to wait for that.
So if Trump was still president, George, would this have happened?
We would be talking about this today.
Oh, we wouldn't?
No.
All right, break time, gentlemen.
You do the dishes.